Coming up on this episode of Studio G, a nonprofit that helps adopted children.
Also, mergers with the Marriott. Studio G starts right now. Good afternoon, Rebels. Today is Wednesday, November 18th, 2015. I'm Sarah Shelton.
And I'm Sally Ann Ficarata. Welcome to another edition of Studio G. There's a major shakeup in the hotel industry that could affect where students from UNLV will be applying for jobs. Reporter Brian Ortega tells us more.
International has just become the world's largest hotel chain by purchasing Starwood Hotel and Resorts for $12 billion. The merging of the two companies will change the face of hospitality for both its clients and its employees. The move is significant because Starwood Resorts has made a significant push towards hotels in Europe and Asia. With this deal, this would put Marriott in Europe and Asia, two areas of the world that lacks the Marriott name. Marriott is buying at a good time because of record hotel occupancy rates in the United States. 3/4 of the Marriott hotels are in the United States, and with this deal, it will widen the hotel's umbrella around the world. Marriott CEO Arne Sorensen has said that he was interested in the deal because of the loyalty rewards program Starwood has and the elite travelers that frequent the Starwood hotels, like the W and the St. Regis. Associates are also benefiting from the merger because this now means that they will be able to get discounts on countless numbers of hotels across the nation and around the world. Executive Chairman Bill Marriott said on his weekly blog how much he appreciates his employees, that he calls associates, and how they are the reason that they have come so far as a company. He also stated that the merger was good for customers because it gives them more brands and hotel choices to choose from when they travel. The deal would create a company that controls 5,500 hotels in over 100 countries around the world. For Studio G, I'm Brian Ortega.
Thank you, Brian. Happy birthday. The merger between Marriott International and Starwood Resorts means that most of the students who graduate from the Hotel Management College will be working for a Marriott property.
Canelo Alvarez will be fighting Miguel Cotto this weekend in our city at the Mandalay Bay, and yesterday the boxers arrived. Eddie Vargas with the story.
Miguel Cotto, experience, against Canelo, okay, he's a younger fighter, but at the end of the day, Cotto's been there, elite level, now for a long, long time, and Canelo's nowhere near as far as I'm concerned.
Fight week is finally here, and fans all over the world have come to our city to see Saúl El Canelo Alvarez go toe-to-toe with Miguel Cotto. Yesterday, both fighters arrived at the Mandalay Bay, where hundreds of fans were anxiously waiting to see their favorite boxer. Mexico and Puerto Rico have had some historic fights, and this week a new chapter will be added when Cotto defends his middleweight championship against Canelo in a 155-pound catchweight bout. Alvarez is in his prime while Cotto is trying to make one last run late in his career. Cotto has a record of 44 wins and 4 losses, and Canelo has 45 wins and has only lost once. That loss was to Floyd Mayweather Jr., who also beat Miguel Cotto. However, Canelo says that this fight is different given where they are in their careers.
No, creo que es diferente, no es un peleador muy diferente. Es un peleador más.
He is a very different fighter. He is more experienced and more of a technical fighter. He is very smart, and I am prepared for that. It's going to be a big challenge for me. It's going to be a hard fight, but I'm ready. I'm just waiting for November 21st to come so I can get in the ring and use my experience and come out with a victory.
Solamente esperando el 21 de noviembre.
Miguel Cotto has had a tremendous career, winning 4 titles in 4 weight classes and becoming the first Puerto Rican to do so. This weekend he will face a stronger and younger fighter in Canelo, and he can present some real danger to the Puerto Rican. His power was demonstrated in his last fight when he brutally knocked out Kirkland in less than 3 rounds. The casinos have Canelo favored over Cotto, but in the sports world, anything is possible. Just ask Ronda Rousey. Reporting for Studio G, Eddie Vargas.
Today will be the final press conference before the fight this Saturday, and Friday will be the final weigh-in.
We have to take a short break, but we will come back to Mateo Hawley with international news.
Also, an interview with the Dean of UNLV's new medical school, Barbara Atkinson. We'll be right back.
I remember the moment.
I'll never forget that moment.
That changed my life.
At that moment, it hit me. This is why I joined the Guard. We're soldiers, always ready to protect our country. But we've also got communities. Family, friends, neighbors who count on us. I couldn't believe it. I just saved a life. Somebody from my hometown.
See what it means to be a citizen soldier at NationalGuard.com.
Snot pouring out of your nose. It's a real hairy business. As a firefighter, I'm a student of the weather, and I've noticed that there's a change that's occurred in the last several years. We're having many more large and damaging fires. Sometimes thousands of fires will occur. If the climate changes and we don't have the water we need, California could dry up and blow away.
Your community's farmers market. Welcoming, lively, friendly. A place where neighbors and friends come together to celebrate their community. With over 50 vendors, organic, sustainable, fresh produce are available just for you. Support and buy local at Fresh 52.
Welcome back to Studio G. We have Mateo Hawley in the newsroom for international news.
Thanks, Sally Ann. I'm here to update you on your international events. Belgium has been heavily investigating one of the suicide bombers who killed himself in front of a cafe. The suspects had a Belgian license plate, so specialized operatives have been searching for their whereabouts. They have made several arrests. They also had a problem identifying them due to specific factors. Belgian Minister of Justice Koen Geens explained the situation.
False papers, false passports, weapon trade are flourishing in certain suburbs of Brussels, like in Molenbeek, and we absolutely have to counter these things with the help of local services, but also with the help of criminal justice.
So far, they have apprehended 5 people who were involved with this particular bombing. This development will bring more immigration legislation on how to track and identify those who have faulty documentation. Barack Obama attended the Asian-Pacific Economic Cooperation. The purpose of this gathering is to talk to 12 members of the Trans-Pacific Partnership. The Philippines have been one of the most loyal allies throughout the years. President Barack Obama explained how he is going to help them with their current regional dilemma in the South China Sea.
My visit here underscores our shared commitment to the security of the waters of this region and to the freedom of navigation. This watch center was built with U.S. grants. The ship that I just toured, a former U.S. Coast Guard vessel, helps the Philippines respond to disasters, perform counterterrorism missions, and patrol the South China Sea. Today I can announce that we intend to transfer 2 additional ships to the Philippine Navy. A research vessel to help map its territorial waters, and another U.S. Coast Guard cutter to bolster the Navy's ability to conduct long-endurance patrols.
Along with fortifying the Philippines Navy, President Obama met with Australian Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull about how they're going to approach Syria's unrest. Wembley Stadium was a sight to see. It was a perfect example showing how people gather in the most difficult of times. Wembley Stadium hosted a soccer match between England and France. This was in open defiance to ISIS. There was an energy in the air where the stadium was lit with French colors, and fans sang the French national anthem. But this symbolizes how the world must unite on a greater scale in order to fight these terrorist groups. That's all I have for your international news. Mateo Hawley reporting for Studio G. Now back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Mateo. Up next, an interview with the Dean of UNLV's new medical school.
We'll be right back.
I mainly play a lot of contemporary jazz music from the 1960s up until about 2012, 2013. When I go on, just explain who it was, the name of the song, the name of the artist, maybe the name of the album, their career. I just hope that everybody enjoys it and appreciate it for the kind of music it is and how great it is. My name is Sam, and I host Sunday Evening Jazz on the rebelhd2.com.
The Smurfs, so happy. The forest, of course. This is where we, along with the beautiful forest creatures, make our home with beautiful plant life, clean water, and endless adventures. It's a place to celebrate. So discover the forest with your family today. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Walter from Deep Thought.
My name is Bruce Gill. I'm the host of La Alternativa.
Perfect Music Radio with me, Lily.
My name is Sam, and I host Sunday Evening Jazz.
I am Rockin' Gemini.
This is Jalen Young on More Than Music Mondays.
And listen to us on the Rebel HD2.
Welcome back. We have Barbara Atkinson with us in the studio to talk about UNLV's new medical school. So how are you doing today?
Great.
So the biggest thing that I want to talk about with you is how is this medical school going to be different than the one in Reno or the ones that we already have here?
It's got a lot of differences. The first one is we have scholarships for 4 years for the first couple classes. The first class completely, and about half the students in the second, third, and fourth class. And we have a really exciting curriculum. We're doing some really exciting things, starting the students out learning to be EMTs for 6 weeks. Then we have a problem-based curriculum, which is a different kind of way to learn the basic sciences, a very personal kind of way in small teams. And then we have a whole year of outpatient medicine. Most schools have a year of in-hospital care. We have a year of outpatient care and then our in-hospital care.
And how is this going to affect non-medical students?
Non-medical students.
Non-medical students, yes.
So we're going to have other teams. So we're going to have in our practices, our outpatient practices, other students. So nursing students who want to have sites to learn, physical therapy students, psychology students, the whole range of other health professionals all learning together in one outpatient environment.
Okay, and then also go more into detail about these scholarships. There's 60, and I also heard there's an extension going on, possibly.
Yes, so we asked for scholarships from the community, and it took only about 2 months to get all 60 of the scholarships for the first class. Then we got from the Engelstadt Foundation 25 for the second class, 25 for the third class, 25 for the fourth class for the whole 4 years. So we'll be filling in more than 25, I think, too. That's already starting, so we're going to have great classes.
Got it. And what do you think has been your biggest challenge so far in developing the medical school?
I guess the biggest challenge is even now recruiting people. We've been having good luck recruiting, but it's just a lot of people we need to recruit. We have about 17 now. We're supposed to have something like 30 by the time January comes around, and about 70 by the time next January comes around. So it's a lot of people to recruit.
Okay, and along with that, how do you expect students when it's not accredited? Because I know that's going to be the biggest issue with recruiting students. How are you explaining that, or how are you pitching that to students?
So first off, we're not allowed to talk to students about admission until next October.
Okay.
Once the accrediting agency lets us talk to them, we will. Right now we have things on the website, so we refer students to the website. But the way we're going to do it is that they'll be part of something new. They'll be pioneers. They'll get to help us develop the curriculum. The curriculum's ready, and they'll be the first test cases, if you will. We want them to help us refine it, make it better, be part of the whole process of building this school. So with the scholarships and with that, I think they'll be very happy to do it. And the inspections, the accrediting agency, the LCME, comes when they're in the second year and when they're in the fourth year. And they will graduate from an accredited school. It just takes until they're in the fourth year to actually get the final accreditation.
Got it. And so throughout the years, we've always had a competition with Reno. And the biggest question for a lot of non-medical students is, why do we need one? Why do we need a medical school?
Well, the Reno school is it's small, and this state is big with a huge need. It's between the 45th state and the 50th state in the country for number of physicians of every single kind, 50 out of 50 states for the number of psychiatrists. So we just need more. There's another medical school starting, Roseman as well, and we need all the students we can get, then we need to keep them here. And we have to build residency programs to keep them here as well, but this state just needs doctors desperately.
And are you working with other local hospitals in town to get some of their leading physicians to help out with medical school?
For sure. We have partnerships now with UMC, with the VA, with the Sunrise Hospital, and then with the Dignity System, which has 3 hospitals. So we have great hospital partners, great places where our students are going to be, and they're going to help us build those residency programs that don't exist now that we need to add here in Las Vegas.
Okay, well, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you being here, and we hope to see more developments throughout the next couple of months.
Thank you.
So when we come back, a nonprofit that helps adopted children. Stay tuned. Studio G will be right back.
It's awesome. I didn't know what I was getting into. I thought it was just going to be fun, just me in a room playing music. And it's blossomed into something beyond what I imagined. Like, people just love it. There's like, a lot of people are eager and excited to be a part of UNLV radio. A lot of people didn't even know UNLV had a radio station, so I'm glad to be bringing that awareness to the Vegas community.
It feels great. You know, it's a great accomplishment because it starts as something that nobody knows about, and you get to build it from the ground up. So it builds your work ethic. It also gives you a sense of accomplishment when it's like, man, we made it. We did something. We made something that nobody else has made. So
it's great to be part of the student community and having to bring something to the student body with music, which is one of my passions.
I feel like it's giving me a voice, and not just for me, but for people who just have something they are passionate about. And I just want to, keep that conversation going and let other people see what we're talking about here.
It's amazing to have an opportunity to play whatever it is that you want to play. It's also a great way to connect and meet with new artists, great people, just music lovers in general.
What's up, it's your girl Scribe Cash. This is
The Prince Madison. This is The Takeover.
Played by the Video Games Live Orchestra.
Yeah, on Twitter, @MilesLowMusic and
Welcome back. Our next story is about That Adopted Girl, a nonprofit organization spreading awareness for the struggles foster and adopted children face.
I came up with because it's National Adoption Month, so every year we're doing a National Adoption Month campaign. This just came to me one day. I was like, let's do art, because I like to do That Adopted Girl kind of alternative and like fun and young as far as nonprofit go. So I was like, let's go downtown, get kids to do art, get artists to do art, make these issues right in front of people's faces where they can see them and understand them. I started That Adopted Girl in 2014 when I was writing a book about my adoption story, and I wanted to write unapologetically and teach about adoption from the kid's point of view. And from my point of view, I was writing about the struggles that I had, the statistics that I fell into, but I had my parents and I had resources that helped me overcome every single struggle. And I started realizing that there's all these hundreds of thousands of kids a year that do not have people to help them overcome the struggle. They just stay in that struggle. So I wanted to start That Adopted Girl to help them through those struggles and help them be able to do it on their own, even if they don't have someone.
I thought the art was really moving and that it brought awareness to the foster care system, and that maybe we should see more art from the foster care system.
People can get involved by going to thatadoptedgirl.com, seeing our programs, and we have a volunteer page where they can see how to help, signing up for our email list, which will update them on events such as this one and other ones we have where we need people to work with the kids, and they can sign up for those, and we'll tell them about it.
The event is called Forgotten Futures, held at the Eden Art Gallery downtown until December 4th. 100% of the proceeds from the art that is purchased goes to that adopted girl and the programs they offer for adopted children.
With the rise of new technology and advances with the internet, popularity in print journalism seems to be falling. Studio G reporter Jordan Lorenzo caught up with our print publication on campus.
It's no secret that print journalism has been less popular with the use of internet and other electronic mediums. I caught up with the editor-in-chief as well as our managing editor for our own publication, The Rebel Yell, to see how we're doing in comparison to earlier years in print.
So we usually distribute on Mondays, and beforehand, last semester, we made the decision to go down from 2 days to 1, which makes more financial sense for us because printing the paper is the most costly thing of our, it's like the second most costly actually.
The second most costly part of
our operation.
What's the first most costly?
Payroll.
The need for students to participate in the striving success of the Rebel Yell, including students who pick it up and read it, is scarce. The editors and writers here at UNLV are noticing a drop in popularity, so I asked if they think it's partially because no one knows who they are. I got the opportunity to meet some of the team during my time at the office and found their dynamic is something they should include in their future business plan to interact on campus.
We have more crazy characters, like these are the tame ones.
When I started as EIC, we were printing 2,500 copies.
And that was for two different,
that's when we printed twice a
week. Circulation has been a struggle because we have so many new students and they don't really know about us. They see it on campus and they don't pick it up, mostly because people get the news online and on their Facebook feed, and that's been a struggle. We as a newsroom have talked about going strictly online. We're getting supplemented right now by the university, but eventually we're going to have to stand on our own and be an independent entity and bring in enough ad revenue and readership and sponsorships and subscription-based things to stand on our own. So that's another thing that I've been trying to do. And we're redoing our website completely, so it'll have a fresh new look by the end of the semester. That's our number one job, is to make sure that we're read, and it means keeping up with the times and bringing in new media and doing more videos and man on the streets and kind of interacting more with the public.
You can look forward to some major changes for the Rebel Yell, including a subscription plan for our alumni. I'm Jordan Lorenzo for Studio G.
The Rebel Yell distributes every week, and you can find free copies right around campus. Coming up next, a bounce house fun land will be right here in the Valley.
Don't go anywhere. Studio G will be right back.
We're going to keep on going for this program. One student here is following her family's legacy here at the university. Her story takes you back to the 90s, where her family's UNLV story begins. I was able to sit down with Savannah Stallworth and reveal her family's Rebel timeline.
My name is Savannah Stallworth. I am 22 years old, and I am a senior marketing major and global entrepreneurship minor here at UNLV. I am a second generation UNLV student, which includes my mom and dad before me and also my aunt and uncle. My mom and dad came to school here. They actually met in BEH 101. On my student orientation, they walked me around and they showed me where they met and where they would do their studying and whatnot. Both my parents were communication majors. My father, Steve Stallworth, was the quarterback for the UNLV football team here when they went to the Cal Bowl. He backed up Randall Cunningham for a year. My mom was a student government senator here at UNLV. She was also a student ambassador along with my father. And then my Aunt Nicole, she was a cheerleader here at UNLV, and my Uncle Bill used to be Hey Reb. So I am a full-blood scarlet and gray rebel. Hey Reb would show up to all of my birthday parties. Whenever we go to any football games, basketball games, any UNLV event, my aunt actually stands up and still does the fight song cheer along with the cheerleaders. It has not changed since. I have always been a rebel, and it's really interesting and cool to kind of share the same traditions with my family. And I hope to pass those same traditions on down to my children at UNLV one day. They played a huge impact and role in me deciding to go to UNLV and stay in town. I kind of wanted to have the same experiences that they had. Like, my mom was in Sigma Kappa here, and my dad was in Kappa Sigma, and I joined a sorority as well. I joined ZTA. They actually just told me that it's kind of like they're back in school also, because I get to tell them about all these cool things that they actually know about also.
Rebel pride seems to go a long way in the Stallworths family.
Thinking about bounce houses probably brings back memories of your 5th birthday party in your backyard. Now there's a place where you can go to relive all those childhood memories.
If you guys are tired of having the same old birthday party every single year, I think I've got the place just for you.
Bounce U is a party place where you can come and enjoy yourself and have a birthday party for any age. We are here to make your birthday parties come to life.
I think it's like a really fun place to have parties and just to bounce and have fun in general. I like playing with the kids, I like making the kids smile, and it's just a really fun job.
I like how fun it can be and how the kids, you see their faces and they get so happy. And when they want you to bounce with them, I'm just like, yes, let's go. I work parties, like private parties, and take pictures, watch them, make sure they don't get hurt, cut cake, pass out the cake, pizza, sing happy birthday, all that good stuff.
They're so just cute. I love kids. I mean, who doesn't like to play? I feel like nowadays everybody's just on their phones, and I feel like this is a great way to get active and have fun. I do it all the time.
I really enjoy working with like the adults and stuff because they're fun, especially when they're trying to play with the kids and going on bouncers. It makes it more fun.
We just had a 50th birthday party here, surprise birthday party, and the lady was so happy. She enjoyed herself, and it was nothing but adults that came in and just had a great time.
The oldest party I've ever done here was probably a 50-year-old. It was Teller from the Guy Penn and Teller, the show on the strip, the magic show, and it wasn't anything very different, but like he had his birthday party here and they had kids and they played and the adults played and it was fun. Oh, Mike Tyson has come here many times. I've seen him before.
Doesn't matter how old you are, you're more than welcome to come and have a birthday party and we can fulfill your happinesses.
I think people should come to Bounce U because, I mean, where else are you going to go to have so much fun?
If you want to relive your childhood, this might be the place for you. For Studio G, I'm Deshola Balogan.
If you want to round up some friends and go jumping, Bounce U hosts free play weekly. I'm pretty surprised that older people go do this. Like, wouldn't you expect there to be more?
There's no age range, which, you know, even I just remember in 6th grade, like twisting my ankle on a trampoline.
Oh no, that's horrible.
Horrible memories, bad memories, but it's one of our reporters' birthdays in the house, Brian Ortega. So let's go to Bounce U after,
that would be
after
fun.
the show today.
He's what, 23 now?
Yeah, I'd love to see
if you
him.
Can go, if you can go when you're 50, you can go when you're 23.
Yeah, all right.
Sarah might not come though because she's scared
of
bounce houses and horses.
Love you, Brian, but not tonight.
There's no horses there, so maybe you can just give it a shot.
No horses or trampolines, and we're good. All right.
Yeah, just old people in their 50s bouncing around with little kids.
That's not.
I don't know. I don't know if that's good, but we need to find out when the free day is.
Right.
So we can go for free. Okay. Thank you for watching today. I'm Sally Ann Ficarata.
I'm Sarah Shelton. Have a great day, Las Vegas.